Live music venues are experiential places for crowds, and the joy to be sweating and dancing and singing next to the people around us, and celebrating life. That this is what it's all about. Since March, I've been saying Austin was the live music capital of the world. The live music capital of the world is dead. Yeah, I've worked on Red River for 20 years. Since March, we've been swapping around this infographic, this diagram that shows the 7 stages of grief. We seem to have not gone through the denial stage of COVID. Then you work the plan, and then you collapse under the emotional and mental weight of it, and the isolation and all, the whole of it. Live music venues in Red River have been shut down since March 13th. Our venues were the first to close and will be the last to reopen whenever that is safe. We're in a bit of a pickle because, square footage downtown is expensive. Hotels have gone from 80% occupancy down to about 5%. Some bars and restaurants are attempting pivots in their models where they're doing some sort of takeout curbside thing. All those spaces are dark and all those businesses are essentially shuttered.
It's interesting that we are trying to figure out how to still do shows, whereas in the beginning we were thinking that maybe we could pull something off in a socially distanced way, but it's pretty tough. We've gone from 850 to 176 if we're doing it socially distanced. You can check out all the hash marks around here, but it's not easy. And, how do we survive on 176 cat just outside in the garage? It's pretty tough.
You can't produce an experience, especially for venues that the bulk of income is from alcohol sales. How do you pay for ongoing expenses without any income? And the reality is that PPP has run its course. SBA loans have run their course. That's the only reason why these businesses like venues are still alive. And we're at the last leg, which is like either you're eligible or not and can receive a little more money to pay rent to keep you going for another month or two. We've already seen 6 businesses close permanently in the district, and 3 of those were live music venue spaces. It's like who can bleed the longest and who can't. And if there aren't any venues, then there are no jobs, right? And we already know that folks that work in the music industry, particularly musicians, are highly vulnerable economically. I think the last survey data that went out said that on average, folks make between 16 and 18K a year in industry locally. You're really looking at people living on the margins, right? And without access to those margins, that paints a pretty bleak picture. I do think on the upside of it, talking to musicians right now, there's so much scrappiness and survival and how to do that with nothing, so that there's a lot of that institutional knowledge in our community. We've been focused on Banding Together since March, which is a program that fundraises dollars to provide currently $75 gift cards for musicians, for music workers, for service hospitality industry people in the greater Austin area. We know there aren't the opportunities to work in these spaces, but we also know that people got to eat. I think we're going to be over the next 3 years really struggling with identity as a city. Then we're going to have some really cool work ahead of us, some really hard work, but I think we should have a vision and direct it in a way that we're really trying to be sustainable in our approach. If we don't, we're relinquishing that aspect of our culture and that aspect of our economy, and that would be foolish. We've got to try to recapture it, because what else are we going to do? What are we going to become, the Tesla capital of the world? I mean, there's something in the joy of music that allows us and myself to grieve the hardships of life, but also just celebrate the joy of being alive. It's where we fall in love to. It's what we break up to. We're only going to get through this together, though.